People have been talking a lot lately in Parmesiano. And no, it's not about that it's always raining. It's about a lot of the problems that they are experiencing. A lot of shops do not have enough customers. We also have some abandoned buildings. Over here in the industry, there are still some people struggling from high resource costs. I think this is gonna solve itself real quick because of our new ore industry over here, or stone industry. We can already see the trucks coming in, so that problem is going to solve, but the other ones are not. For that we need a bigger plan. Hi there, my name is Cheesy. In today's episode we are going to grow Parmesiano's episode with a lot of population, and we are going to do this by building 3 very different neighborhoods. So our first neighborhood is going to be right over here, and it will be a company town. So let's start with calling the bulldozers and flattening out some of this land. We can do this with the level terrain tool. I think you already know this. We can right click the height that we want, and then we can just drag it out to where we want it to go. So maybe they would take this hill and flatten it out across the side like this. Maybe we can push it a little further. But I don't want to break the cliff or the highway with this. So I think this is about enough. On the other side we can do the same thing, but there I want to keep this hill. I want to place something on top of it. Maybe a park or a special building, something like that. Okay, so let's go again with the soften terrain tool, slow strength, and just go around this a bit. A little more strength is needed, I see. So we can soften out the edges and make it look like some erosion has taken place, that nature is still doing its thing over here. Especially on this side you can see it's quite heavy. So let's brush this out. Okay, great. And next thing we can do is use our roads. Because this is a company town, I think there would be quite a lot of straight roads and not that many curves. There's not like a city planner that is feeling creative when building this. This is mostly just a company. This is mostly just a company thinking about resources and how to manage those. So let me just come up with some kind of grid over here. We can have one angled road that goes down this hill over here. And this is probably the road where a lot of people want to live on, a little bit further away from the busy road. Also, I think on this side we can have a lot of shops. So I think this will be the basis for our town. I'm not going to connect it to the highway because I don't want traffic that wants to go to our city to go through this neighborhood. They will have to go over this main road, where they will see all of our commercial buildings that we are going to place right here, right now. I don't want it to be placed too near to the highway because of possible traffic issues, but we can have some more on this side. And other than that, I just want to put a low density residential here. We don't need any offices or things like that. People living here, we can say that they all work over here in the stone industry. We have one more signature building, but we're going to bank this for now. No need to place it. So let's finish our zoning. And if you remember, we already have a firehouse over here, so we don't need that for our city. And I think police and healthcare services can come over from real city. Eventually this is going to be filled in with also a lot of services, and then this isn't going to be this remote anymore. What I do want to have is a park on top of the hill. So let's see what we can do. Maybe a campfire site would be nice. So let's try and place it like this. How does that look? It actually conforms to the terrain quite nicely, so this is perfect for us. Let's connect it up with a dirt road maybe. Go straight into here. Is this not connected? It's not connected. Now it is. And we also want to place a few trees around here to make it blend in. So if I'm not mistaken, these are the normal birches. They are not here, they are here. No, the birches it seems like. And what is this bush? It's this one, the wildflower bush. So let's go into place multiple. Let's make a small brush and 50% strength sounds about right. We're going to place these around the hill. And the same with the birches that we also found in the asset. This will make it look a lot more blend in. So it's meant to be here and not just this square space of trees. Let's also give people some place to park over here. Maybe a medium parking lot. Like this. So people from inside the city can come visit their friends over here. They can come visit the park. Maybe do some shopping. I don't know why people would come here, but we just enabled for them to come here. Let's also drag this out a little bit. And over here I went too far, so what we do is we go into the soften terrain tool and we soften it down a little bit. Over here near the highway it's a little bit of a cliff, but maybe we can again plant some bushes. And again I'm in the wrong menu. We can plant some bushes and then we can say that the roots of these bushes are holding the whole thing together. And my technique here is to just place too many. As you could have seen, the brush goes a little bit over what it shows, but it's no worries. I think right now we can just delete whatever we don't want to have here. And in Cities Skylines 2 it's quite easy. You just hold the left mouse button and drag over all of the things you want to delete. And you can see they are highlighted, and then when you are okay with it, you just let go of the left mouse button and they will place everything. So I will go through again manually and just fill in a little bit more of these bushes. I think the terrain just shifted, but don't worry about that. That's not a bug, that's a feature. We have jumpy terrain. Some people have jumpy games, we have jumpy terrain. Okay, that's nice. Let's also look at it from the other side. Nothing weird happening right now, so I think we can go to our second neighborhood. Our second neighborhood is going to be over here, near the high school. And it will be more of a designer neighborhood. So it's going to have a lot of curvy roads. The roads will not make a lot of sense. Well, maybe to the people that are living there, because they know how they go. But it's supposed to frighten people. Well, frighten is maybe a big word. It's supposed to disencourage people that are not living in this neighborhood. Because of the curvy roads, because of the not so nice connections. They will think that it's not logical to drive through this neighborhood, and then they will probably won't drive through it. At least that is my plan for it. And the result should be that only people that are living in the neighborhood will use these roads because they know how they go. And people that are from outside of this neighborhood, they will just take some more direct roads, leaving it so that it's nice and easy. Not that much traffic, not that much unknown people going through your neighborhood, and you can feel safe and easy, quiet. So this will be the outline of our neighborhood and let's make a few roads going through it. So this was already a main road. I don't want to connect into that. I don't think we can connect into the school. Just like this. And as I said, we're going to use a lot of curvy roads and let them make not as much sense. So for example, this can end here. And then another road can go straight off that. And this road maybe just hits back on the first road. So as I was saying before, if you're going through this neighborhood and you're driving in here and you want to go to the school, for example, you will not be taking one of these two roads. You will probably just drive straight and take this one turn to be there. This neighborhood is really meant to discourage you from using its roads unless you live in the neighborhood. That is the big takeaway here. So let's continue forming these roads. And let's also give these people some more connections by placing a few paths through this neighborhood. So that if you're living right here and one of your friends is living over here, you don't have to go all the way around, but you can just walk and go straight to your friend's house. So let's just make a couple of thoughtful connections like that. And let's make it so that it's going to be easy to be a pedestrian in this neighborhood. So if you want to find a service, find a friend, and maybe go for a walk, then you will do that in this neighborhood and you won't feel the need to leave the neighborhood, take your car, drive a long way and find your pleasure somewhere else. No, everything should be here if you like easy and quiet life. Let's make one more connection towards the high school. This is not really working because the high school is only accessible from this side in the game, but we can imagine that maybe some high school students living in this neighborhood, they take the short route whenever they have a gym class and just go straight here without going through the front door. It will save them a few minutes on their trip. Yeah, it will just save them a few minutes so they can stay in bed a little bit longer. I'm sure we can all relate to that. So for this neighborhood, I don't want to place any commercial. As you can see, we're still having a lot of problem with not enough people. And not enough customers, I mean. But I do want to place some services over here. I think the nearest elementary school is quite some part away. It's over here in the old part of town and you can see it's almost full. So let's place one more of those. And maybe it can go here on the edge of the neighborhood. So not really inside it, but yeah, it's still meant to serve the people in the neighborhood. And with that we hit our level 8 milestone. We are now a big town. With that we have a lot of new expansion tiles and that's very good because we are going to need them in a while. But let's first finish this neighborhood. Let's also place a dog park inside the neighborhood. A small park maybe on this side. And the playground I want also maybe 2 of them. You should never have too few parks in your city. Maybe we can even place a large playground near the elementary school, I mean. So that's one. Let's also place a parking place across the road. 1, 2. So that's it for services. And now we can just fill in the rest of the neighborhood with low density residential again. So this maybe will take a while, but I will be right back to you. And when zoning big chunks like this, you can just like with the bulldozing before, you can just click the left mount button and then hold it and drag it. Like I'm doing over here. Yeah, it just goes a lot quicker like that. So one more set of houses over here. And I think this will be the base of our neighborhood. Let's check back on it in a while after it has filled in. For our third neighborhood, I want to make use of this space over here. As you can see, there's a lot of flat space, and I think this would be a great place for a gated community. So the idea of a gated community is that there's only one way in, one way out, and only the people that live in this area have access to the roads over there. So we can build a road underneath this rail bridge right here, and this will be the entrance into our gated community. So let's connect it up here. I don't want it to directly connect to the industry, but maybe a path will be okay, so that people living in the neighborhood have the possibility to walk to work. But I don't want people to drive into this directly. This then would be the straight road, and I think the people that will be living here are a bit more high-end. They have a lot of money, and they don't want to be driving next to factories when they are entering or leaving their neighborhood. So let's follow the power lines over here, because I don't think the houses here would be built underneath a power line. And I also don't think that they would move the power lines just for a few low-density residential houses. It's very expensive to build these pylons, and once they are built, I don't think the energy company would be very happy about moving them again. Let's also keep our distance from the train lines so that we can place a few trees next to them to block the noise. Let's go underneath the power lines at one point, that will be here, and then go up the hill again. I do want to make use of this little island over here. It's quite a cute place. There's a few barns and stuff like that. Maybe this would be a very old settlement, and maybe we can create a park out of this and say this is like some kind of museum about the first settlers of this region. It would be great to have some fences to block off access to the power lines, but since we don't have them, I'm going to use these paths. Not that I think it would be a great walk to have, but it's going to, as you see, it blocks the zoning squares that we have along here, so that we cannot accidentally place any houses so near to the power lines. And then I think on the other side we will place, for the time being, we will place some trees. Again, trees near the power lines, not that realistic, but it blocks people from going there. So that's my rationale. And should we at some point get any fences, I think we can come back to this area and replace it with fences. Let's also fill this in. I don't want it to be a straight grid, but I do want development here to be logical and easy to find your way around. So it will be a grid, just a very wavy grid that we are building over here. Let's then, to act as some kind of gatehouse, place a police station right here on the entrance road. And we can say that if you're not allowed to be here, if you don't have the right sticker or something like that on your car, then the guard that is living in this house, he will stop you and tell you, well, you have to turn around, please use this turn and go back into the city. You are not allowed to be in this neighborhood. So this would really be an exclusive place. Let's also place some trees around the rail line. I want it to be evergreen, so that in the winter you have the same protection from the noise as you would have during the summer. So let's place a thick row of these spruce. Let's also place them real thoughtfully around the power lines. And I think that underneath the power lines it would be okay to place some lower bushes. They won't grow to the same heights, so it's not dangerous for the leaves to touch the power lines, stuff like that. So let's give it some thick landscaping, and this also illustrates to the Sims that they are not supposed to be here. Where they are supposed to be is in their houses. I think this neighborhood will have one shop near the entrance. So that would be this block. And all the rest will be residential. But I want to be thoughtful about it and give these people some extra space. So not every zoning block will be filled in. These people paid a lot to live in this neighborhood, and they don't want to see their neighbors when they're sitting in their gardens. So that's why we are giving them a lot of space. This stays a bit longer, but I will think the result will be quite pretty. So that's why this is how we're doing it. So let me just fill the rest of this neighborhood in, and then I will get back to you. So I went through and I placed all of these houses. Some of them are 2x2. Most of them are just single houses. Over here I left some space open because we said that in the future this would probably be some kind of museum. So then also here we would have a ticket booth and people can drive up just to here. But then, of course, they need to park their car. So let's provide for that already by placing a few of these small parking lots. And maybe one small shop. We can say this is maybe like a souvenir shop or a place to get your tickets and drinks. And maybe some info pamphlet before you go up in on the island. While we are here, I also want to place some parks. I left some spaces open for that. So let's first place a large playground. Let's place a large city park. Let's also place a small park. And some more. Not a campfire site, no, the playground I want. Maybe one over here, a small one, and then a large one on this side. So there will be a lot of park over here, and I think the people will love it. Let's also place a tennis court. You know those rich people like to play tennis. Maybe we can have two. Not a skate park, we can have an outdoor gym right here near the water. And then also again a small park, I think. So there's a lot of parks here and that will increase the land value over time, and I think it will make it so that these houses get to level up some more. Let's also place some trees between the houses to give them some privacy. And on this side we again have to watch out for the power lines. I don't want to place them on the side of the river. Over here we can have some cultivated bushes maybe. And then I want to go through again with some other trees, maybe a pine. And just dot them around. Don't place them as much as the chestnuts. So this will be a chestnut forest, but then of course there will be a few of these pines in between them. There's not just one type of tree growing here. But the majority will be the chestnuts, okay. And now we can, to really finish it off, we can truly make this a gated community. So let's first drag out our district. And I want to cover everything over here. I don't want to snap. Let's include the police office as well. And I think the park can be its own district in the future. And maybe we'll have to cut out some edge over here to make it so that people from all over the town can visit the park. But that's a problem for another problem. Spruce crest? No, I thought we just said that this was a chestnut forest. So then this should be chestnut crest. Over here in this menu we can see that there is a few of these edicts. Energy awareness, I don't think we need that, but we do need a gated community. And you can read here, only people living or working within the district are allowed in. This increases the well-being of its residents and reduces crime in the area. Does not affect city services. So now we truly have a gated community. We also get the achievement, so that's real nice. We don't want any heavy traffic over here. We do want recycling. Let's be fancy while we're at it. Speed bumps, we don't need that, I think. Okay, for now this is good, so let's close this. Let's also check on our suburb that we grew in the last part of the video. This also completely filled in, and I think it looks quite nice. And with that said, do you also think this was nice? Please leave a like. You can comment on the video, maybe leave some names in the comments to help me name these neighborhoods. If you need inspiration, leave a comment about that. Like the video, maybe share it with your friends. And with that said, bye bye.